Alright, you are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I get a call from my dad today. I had just dropped off my car for servicing to Vitaly, the fucking dodgy Russian mechanic. I can't even tell if he's dodgy actually. He could be alright, but he doesn't charge much, and I get the feeling when I drop my car off there, he doesn't even look at it. He just puts a service sticker on and reverses it back out. I can't tell. How can you tell? He's like, I changed all the filters, the oil filter, fuel filter, air filter. I'm like, did you, Vitaly? Did you? If I go to my car now and lift the bonnet, am I going to see brand new filters, am I? Come over with me, Vitaly. Let's open this fucking bonnet. All right, let's see the new filters. Now, where the fuck is the fuel filter meant to be? He could just point at anything, really. I know what the oil filter looks like, but I wouldn't be able to tell if it's new or not. And I wouldn't even waste my time looking at the air filter. Fucking Vitaly, I would like someone to go in there with a hidden camera and see what the fuck he's doing to my car. Because I feel like it's not much. Anyway, I just dropped my car off and I was going for a walk around the streets because it was going to take a couple of hours. I was just going for a walk to clear my head out, and my dad gives me a call. And he says, if you've got anything to say to Nana, if you've got anything you want to say to Nana, I would give her a call up either today or tomorrow because you might not get another chance. And I'm like, fuck. And if you've been listening to this podcast long enough, you know my Nana is probably my favorite person in the entire world. I love her to death. She's my fucking hero. Strongest person I've ever met, most loving person I've ever met, bravest, toughest, everything. She's everything. So I start speaking to Dad, and he's like, yeah, Nana has been on a bit of a downward turn the last maybe week, 2 weeks. He's like, she's barely out of bed now. She's out of bed maybe 15 minutes a day. She can't get to the shower anymore. She has to stay in bed. She's bedridden, essentially. And so Dad's like, I spoke to her last night and I told her everything I wanted to tell her. And if there's anything you want to tell her, just make sure you tell her in the next day or so. And he says, I mean, she could last longer, but I just get the feeling that there's not much time left. So just give her a call. And just tell her anything you feel like telling her. He was basically saying, don't leave anything unsaid. And I was like, oh, even though she's 90, even though she's been sick, even though she's been in pain and unwell for years now, even though I've been mentally kind of prepared for it for quite a while, and even though you try and look on the bright side and go, at least I had my Nana for this long, it is still gonna fucking hurt. Jesus Christ, I almost had a fucking breakdown on the phone to my dad. I had to push it down. I had to push it away. Like, I'm definitely gonna have a breakdown at some point. But I could feel it coming and I'm like, nah, this isn't a fucking like 20-minute breakdown. This is like a full day. This is a lock myself in the room for like 24 hours and just let it out and come out the next day a different person. So I decided I'm just going to push it down until the day comes. And it was real hard trying to push down these emotions too. I'm not saying it's healthy. I'm definitely not saying you should do that. Grieve if you need to grieve. Please don't follow this as an example. Crying is one of the best things you can do for your health. But I just swallowed it. I'm like, not today. Not before I speak to Nana either. I didn't want to fucking burst into tears while she's still alive, while I'm still speaking to her. I didn't want to do that. And my dad called me back after he hung up and he said, listen, when you're speaking to Nana, don't say you were a great grandma and I loved you. She still is a great grandmother and she still is a great mother. So don't speak to her as though she's already gone. And I'm like, thank God Dad called me back up to tell me that, because I had basically started a fucking eulogy in my head and I was going to tell that to Nana. And I'm like, fuck, what was I thinking? She's still here. So just have a normal conversation. So I called my auntie and I spoke to her for a little bit and she told me Nana had been going downhill for, probably about 2 weeks. Because about a month ago, it was her birthday, her 90th birthday. And she was smoking joints and she was smoking darts and she was having a wine. She was out of bed. We were video calling her. It was great. And so about 2 weeks after that, she must have started going really downhill. And my auntie and my cousin, who are living with my Nana at the moment, who are looking after her, doing everything. I don't know how the fuck they're coping. Because really, my nana was the centerpiece of our entire family from the very beginning. She is definitely the matriarch of the Boyle clan. Clan's probably not the right word. Posse. And so I was speaking to my auntie and I'm like, can I speak to Nana? Is she up at all? And she's like, if you give us a call back in 10 minutes, you'll be able to speak to her. So I called back and Nana came on the phone and she just sounded like normal. And so I just had a normal conversation with her. I told her I sent her some photos on Friday. They should be there in the next day or two. Check the mail. She's like, how's the little baby? I'm like, yeah, she is pretty temperamental. She does not stop crying at the moment. And my nana's like, I don't think it's her who's temperamental. She's like, what are you doing to this poor baby, David? What are you doing to her? And I'm like, wow, Nana, you've still got the energy to yell at your favorite grandson, don't you? You're not that fucking sick. And she laughed at that, so I made her laugh, which was nice. About a minute or 2 minutes into the conversation, she's like, David, I'm just so exhausted. I have to go and lie back down. And I'm like, Nana, I love you. I really love you. I love you, Nana. And she's like, I love you too. And she said, say hi to the kids for me and say hi to your wife. Make sure you say hi to her. Make sure you say hi to her. I'm like, I will, Nana, I will. And then I said, Nana, I really love you and you're my hero. I love you so much. And she had a little giggle at that. And then she said goodbye. And I said goodbye. And I almost broke down again. I was fucking real close, but I was not gathering myself for a good 4 hours, 5 hours, 6, 7, 24 hours if I let it go. So I pushed it down. I'm like, all right, let's just wait and see what happens. Hopefully she can just go to sleep one night and just slide into heaven. Because that's where she's going. She has a one-way ticket. Oh, fucking hell. So yeah, that's that. I think there's going to be a couple of rough days ahead for me. For everyone in my family, actually. This is going to be the rough one. And the fucked up thing is, can't even go to New Zealand to go see her one last time. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Fuck it. I'll see you the fuck later.